G'day, Stu here from UAVFUTURES, and today, well, it's time for our Sunday question and answer video. If you're new to the channel, basically what these are, you guys drop a whole bunch of questions down in the comments below, and then on the Sunday Q&As, I get an opportunity or a chance to answer those back to you. Now, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Today's actually Saturday, but I've got a massive day of flying, heading out tomorrow. I'm not going to get home till it's dark because I've got a ton of testing to do. Things like the B-Flight, a whole bunch of the GT2 2017, a whole bunch of cool stuff that I want to test. So it's going to be a massive day. So by the time I get home, it's going to be too difficult then to shoot the Sunday Q&A and with family life and stuff. That's why I'm shooting it on Saturday. Anyway, pretty much I want to give a massive shout out to Flex RC as well for sponsoring this week's episode and giving us, where every time we put a question down below, you go on the chance to win something. And today we're going to be giving out a Nano X from Flex RC. I'll put the link down below as well. So it's like a tiny little drone that runs on a 1S battery. It looks pretty cool. I haven't actually ever had one on the show myself, but Flex RC, they definitely look awesome. So massive shout out to them. And go and click on that link, I'd say, to you viewers too, because the more people that click on those links, the more value I guess these episodes get, and then the cooler prizes we can get on the channel to give away to you guys. So massive shout out, thanks so much for Flex RC for providing that prize. And if you're interested in winning that, because I had some people asking, Stuart, how do I win these? Because I know last time we gave away a GT2, just drop a comment down below, drop a question down below, something you think will help the hobby, and I'll go through and I'll pick out my favorite question of the segment, and then you guys, that person, I'll contact them. Anyway, enough rambling, let's jump right in, have a look at the first question. I've got them all here on my phone, so let's kick it off with the first question. Rightio, so, and I should apologise, look, I always butcher the names, it seems like I can't pronounce them very well. This one's from Ulysses Varquez. Hi guys, what simulator do you recommend to practice with? I would say a free one to start with, so like Hot Props is pretty cool, and an FPV Freerider is pretty cheap, and I think a lot of people like Liftoff or Velocidrone as well. And anything I talk about too, I'll link it down in the description down below, so there'll be like the Flex RC link, and any other products or anything I talk about, I'll put some links down there as well, so definitely go and check those out. So moving on, and I think I've got a ton of questions here too, and you still got to do some charging. It's going to be like a rapid fire, we'll go through them, and try to answer as many questions as possible. Stu, if you could spend the day with one other this one's from Reckless FPV. Stu, if you could spend one day with another FPV YouTuber, who would it be and why? For me, I think I just want to shout out to Joshua Bardwell. Like, he seems like we seem on the same page. We're very, very similar in a lot of things that we review and the content that we cover and the things we talk about. We have our own pros and cons and things we're great at on both of the channels, but I'm a massive fan of Joshua Bardwell. I think he's like a stand-up guy, and I just really like his modesty and honesty, and I'd just love to go over to his house. It wouldn't have to be totally crazy, all crazy flying, just to talk FPV. I feel like I really know Josh as a friend, even though I've never met him. I feel like he would be a ton of fun to hang out with, and yeah, so that's who I'd want to, on YouTube, that's who I'd want to hang out with. There's heaps of others as well, but he's definitely at the top of my list. LV8 FPV, what is the thing that makes this hobby more interesting than other hobbies? What thrills you the most? I would say there's so many. This sounds like almost like a cliche, but there's so many things about this hobby that I absolutely love. So you get to get outdoors, you get to meet like-minded people, you can practice and see your skills progressing. You're doing something that's like adrenaline pumping when the goggles don't go down and you're racing your friends and smashing and ripping around that track. It makes your heart thump and really race. It puts you on the edge of your seat. You've got to solve problems, you can do some programming, you can print out 3D models and do some 3D printing to solve problems on maybe how you're going to mount something to your quad. Or there is just so many parts. I think that the best part about this hobby, there's so many things in it that just for me work with my mind and let me exercise my thoughts, and there's not one thing in particular, it's like a combination of everything in this hobby. Scott Hollingshead. Thanks for all your help with all your experience. If you could go back in time, I think you mean, and give yourself advice, what advice would that be? Are we talking about FPV or flying? Let's assume you are. This is a tough one really, because I don't really know what I would probably say, okay, good advice would be when I'm spending money on things, because I know I got burnt a few times, I did my homework and I read up. Like, I bought some motors one time, and I bought, like, I said to myself, I'm going to buy 10 of these motors because they look awesome, and I read the specs and I read the stat sheets and I read what the company was saying. But when I got the motors, they were a bit sloppy, they had crazy vibrations, and I was like, you know what, if I just had done my homework a little bit more, or watch some other videos, or watch some other reviews, or find some stuff out about people using these motors, it would have been so much better, and it would have saved me a lot of cash. So that would be my advice, just to research, word of mouth, watch review channels, and try to use stuff that people talk about or know. Don't take big purchase risks on things you have no idea about, and definitely don't go out and buy 10 motors that are based on just one website's brand recommendation. Tasha Bowley, so g'day! My partner and his mates fly drones, so I got myself a Wizard because of you voted it the best drone in 2016, and FPV setup, and really enjoying the hobby. Question, how do you guys find all these cool places to fly? So I would say, Tasha, you're a fantastic woman. If your partner is into drones and you've gone out and you've got yourself a Wizard, that's really nice and supportive. That's great to see families that are flying together. I know a lot of people out there wishes their wives were into the hobby, or you know, a little bit more supportive, because I know us guys can spend a lot of time talking about these drones. I know my wife is super supportive, but I would say, as far as your question goes, how do you find all these cool places to fly? Your biggest friend is going to be Google Maps and meeting up with other pilots. So local people in the area are going to know the really cool places to fly. And if you don't know anyone, scour that Google Maps, look for any big blotches of green, drive out there and check them out. Because I know for me, I'm not from this town that I live in now, but local people have shown me some cool places to fly, and I scour Google Maps like something that scours things. What scours things? I don't know. Drop that in the comments down below. I wish I had a good analogy. Drew B, hi Stu, love the channel, keep the videos coming. Question, do you change your props for different styles of tracks? What do you recommend for fast, big tracks, tight, small tracks, and just all-round props? You know what, if I was really serious into racing, I would change my props, and I would say things like something like this. This is the Norris frame, so if you're going after all-out top, flat-out speed, and most racers I would say would use a bi-blade like this. If you want more grip in the air, definitely go something that's like a tri-blade, so I love the Cyclones. And for an all-round prop, the Cyclones are actually my all-round prop because they're really durable, I find they're really grippy, and they've got pretty decent speed as well. And I know they do have some bi-blade Cyclones which are out there, but you know, and I've flown around with those. They are a little bit quicker, but I just really like the standard tri-blade. So yep, I would say for big long tracks you want a big bi-blade, but for a really short zippy little track with a lot of twists and turns, maybe something like a really light tri-blade might grip the air a little bit better. Shari Ali, Stu, speaking for myself, this is a bit of a long question actually, so excuse the rant or the question. Stu, speaking for myself and probably many others who started FPV recently and are no longer beginners, and as such and have some skills, you know, you can go and do flips and split S's, etc. There is still a huge gap in skill level between someone like myself and great pilots like you. Thanks very much. I mean, you guys are awesome, but I think I might be exaggerating there. I definitely put a lot of time in, but what can be done to bridge the gap and improve my piloting skills? Apart from just practice, that is, I fly as often as I can, 3 to 4 times a week, and yet I'm not really progressing as such. Is there a routine or a specific skill or drills that may help boost pilot skills? Perhaps this could be a nice video series. You're right, I would love to do some videos on how to help pilots, and that's definitely something that I am going to do when, you know, I transition into doing this properly full-time. But I would say, as far as, you know, I know you don't want to hear the word practice, but that's exactly what it is. Meeting other pilots and just enjoy the hobby. I would say, unless you're doing it for a career, like you've got to make money, I've got to win this race to win some things, I would say don't put so much pressure on yourself and just go out and have fun. And things like FPV gates, they can really hone your skills. Getting smaller gates, tighter gates, just practicing all those different scenarios. And I'm going to leave a link up here to my happy flying videos, because a lot of the time I talk about things that can help improve your piloting and just improve your flight experience. Jason Cross, g'day Stu and Trev. Well, Trev's not here because Trev is, oh, and a big shout out to Trev too, and everyone who subbed to his channel. Thank you so much, because that was so much fun doing the question and answer video. And if you want that to happen, definitely drop some likes on this video, because if you want to see Grumpy Trev, let me know. We can get him more on the Q&A video. He can become like a regular segment, because it was a ton of fun. And look, if he's ever free, I'd be more than happy to go around there and film a video. It's always good fun with Grumpy Trev. Anyway, back to your question, Jason Cross. My question is around who inspires you in the hobby. local mates, YouTube celebrities, and family. Could be all three, but does any one person stand out? Love the channel, love your approach to every video, and can't wait for the next upload. That is a very kind question. And I know you guys are going to say, Stuart, that's so cheesy, that's so lame, but my biggest inspiration actually comes from you guys. It's not from the big name pilots. It's not from the people around me that I fly with. It's just the everyday pilots out there, because I feel I'm just like you guys. I love this hobby, and that's why I make these videos, to share it with you, and you guys are the inspiration. So all the good feedback that people getting into the hobby saying, there's no better email than when I get a message saying, Stuart, thanks so much, I got into the hobby because of your videos. And for me, that is my inspiration right there. Or your videos are helping me flying, or I'm loving flying and I'm loving watching your videos, because that's what I love to do, and I know the joy that I get from it. And to know that my videos have helped other people out there experience that as well, that is really inspirational. So that's what keeps me going. So as cheesy as it sounds, it's actually you guys that help me make these, you know, you're the inspiration that I make these videos. So yeah. Anyway, moving on before we all get all teary and a bit sooky. This one's from Vendetta2916. Hey Stuart, what's the best VTX antenna combo for best video? Love the channel, keep up the good work. A pretty good one that I like is the TBS Unify Pro. I know a lot of people use that. It's also pretty expensive, and with their Triumph antenna on the back, because I think that's a pretty good one. As far as like maybe putting a camera, this came actually the other day. 1 second. Here they are. So it was like the Runcam Micro Swift camera, and it also came with like a little Runcam transmitter as well. So those two are absolutely tiny. If I take them out, have a look at this. I haven't done a video on this as well. I'll link this down below, but that's their VTX right there. So look how small that is. Mixing that with like a micro camera, which isn't in there because I've had it out, but it's like an absolutely tiny micro camera. I'll link it down below so you can look at it properly. But I think that's a pretty cool option. If you're going to build something small, that is going to offer lightweight and also really good video, because the Micro Swift 2 is a pretty cool camera. Anyway, let's get on with it. This one's from Ray Witz. Hi Stu and Trev, going solo or hang with the gang? Do you prefer, it's almost like a poem or a rap lyric. Do you prefer, can you tell me, I feel really old saying it like that. Do you prefer to fly alone or with a group? I definitely prefer to go out, fly with Grumpy Trev, maybe with Cool Hand Calvin, and you know, some of the close people that I fly with that I've become really good friends with. There's nothing like flying with some of your best mates. It's just that's, for me, that's where the joy is, and also a bit of banter. I love giving Trev a bit of trash talk every now and again, and he's good for it too. George T, what is the biggest mistake you see people making when they start flying FPV? I'm building a mini FPV, or slapping a camera on one already owned drone, and would like to know what should I be aware of before my first flight. I would say, don't get too caught up on the nitty little details. Don't read too much into this KV, or if I had this Velcro strap, or if I had this, I need to change my PIDs, or you know what? Just get out, fly, and have fun. Don't focus too much on honing your craft, especially when you're a beginner, because you can go down the wrong rabbit holes and it can be very, very confusing. So I would say just over time you will learn those things, and you know, do watch some videos and do a little bit of research, but most of all I would say just focus on having fun. That's my #1 tip for first time flyers. I'm looking at my GoPro down there and it's just flashing like a light blue. Does anyone know what this means? Oh, it stopped. It's gone to solid red. It just turned off. I don't know if you guys saw that. Anyway, I wonder if it's charged. My GoPro's been playing up a bit actually. Casey Wang, question for the next Q&A. Will Trev adopt me? I'll just hang out in his basement. Trevor, if you could just leave a comment down below please, and I'll pin a comment, and if you could reply to that, that way I'll let Trevor answer that for you, Casey. Hi Stu, how is your family doing? As a new father myself, I know it can be rough, especially with work plus YouTube. My family is awesome, my wife is so supportive, and she's, you know, really, without her, I couldn't do the channel. So shout out to my lovely wife who's out there actually looking after our daughter right now, because without all the work that she does, I couldn't do this stuff. So it's definitely hard work for both of us at the moment, but it is also really rewarding because this is what I want to do. She believes in UAV Futures as well, and I couldn't do it without her, so I'm very, very grateful. But we're all doing very, very well, so thanks very much for asking. This one's from Mike Tech. What percentage of packs do you fly in a day? Are you filming for the channel? I think you mean like how many packs do I fly when I'm doing filming. I'm always scratching my head in amazement when you say you fly upwards of 40 packs a day. At the moment in winter, I definitely can't do that many. I have about 40 charged tomorrow, because tomorrow I need to do some flying. I've got the itch, I just want to get out there. I want to do a lot of filming too, and sometimes filming, I don't get to, you get to fly like half the packs when I'm filming, because I'm going to have to do a flight on a drone that, whether I love it or don't like it, I need to put some packs through it to test it. And my favorite drone, like the Talon at the moment, is just sitting there saying, please fly me, but I'm testing all these other things. And then I watch Trev fly around, and then I film Trevor's reactions. And so when I'm filming, it's much more closer maybe to 20 packs, but in daylight savings and it might be up to 40 packs. Oh, something's going beep. Did you guys hear that? On daylight savings anyway, it's like 40 packs, and I reckon on a daylight savings day when I'm not filming, it might be closer to like 80 packs. What is that? Alright, back. That was actually a rogue pair of Fat Sharks I had down there. I was doing some little testing using the goggles because I was checking out, sneak peek, this bad boy. And I was doing some stuff with the on-screen display, but I've unplugged my goggles. Have been sitting there probably for like 2 hours plugged in, poor things. Anyway, where were we? So yeah, I fly a lot of packs, especially in daylight savings. I reckon I could do like 50 packs for fun, easy, 60 packs if I wasn't doing a filming day. Conrad Mountjoy, are you guys a fan of Flight Test? Absolutely. I would love to go over and hang out with the guys over at Flight Test. So Flight Test guys, 7 past you. Stu, I need a UAVFUTURES T-shirt or at least a sticker or something. You've kept me from quitting this hobby 4 times now. Also, if you readjust your drone wall, put your first drone in the center with the other drones around in a circle. I've definitely thought about that. So I've got Frank the Tank right here. As far as like UAVFUTURES swag, we do have like my Patreon supporters. I send out the UAVFUTURES Velcro straps. I'll link that down below if you're interested in getting some of those. But I think UAVFUTURES T-shirts, I'm getting asked that a fair bit, so maybe we'll have to see what we can do. If you've got some cool designs, please email me. Maybe like my big face saying, "G'day," or something that's just fun. It doesn't need to be serious. It doesn't need to be super cool. I would love to see some UAVFUTURES Designs t-shirts. So yeah, definitely email me at uavfutures@gmail.com, and let's see if we can get this happening. And to start off with, let's have a look at some really cool designs. I definitely think that'd be cool. Thanks very much, 7 past you. Felice Robotics, do you know how to make a simple and cheap drone gate? Please make a video about it, please. P.S. I'm a big fan. I don't know if this is actually a troll question, so I'm just going to leave this link right here. Go and watch that. That one's for you. Stefan H. Question and answer. Hi Stu. What is your opinion when comparing ultralight frames, either the Chuck Norris, the Hyperlight Floss, and vertical arms like the Korea Talon, the Skyline, and the Rampage, in regards to track racing and drag racing? Please keep up the good work, mate. And this channel is awesome. Thank you very much. As far as the Hyperlight Floss, I think that's I haven't actually tested that, and that is definitely a frame that I want to check out because it looks super cool. It's not really like anything that I've got, so I know Kebab FPV or Bob, he's done a lot of work there, so I definitely think I would love to explore some options with those quads. Regarding the Korea Talon and the Skyline, the Rampage, they absolutely, like here's the bad boy right here. The way they turn through the air, it feels like a rudder. So for track racing, this is what I love. I don't know if it's going to be as quick. It's definitely a monster, but it's a little bit heavier as well, and I think that's what's exciting about it. We've got room to find our favorites out there, and I think depending on how you fly as well is going to determine how well you perform. Do you like how this one turns? Do you like the flat out speed of maybe like a Hyperlight or something like that? So it's a very, very interesting play. Evan77, I like that username. Question: what is the single best thing you can do to help you enjoy the hobby? So do you mean help me enjoy the hobby? I love just watch these videos. That helps me enjoy the hobby when I get comments back from you, when you guys interact and let me know how much it's helping you. But as far as if that is aimed at what's the best thing that pilots can do to help themselves enjoy the hobby, I would say manage expectations. So when you go out, meet some friends, and when you go out, just aim to have fun. Don't take it so seriously and don't get all or to, you know, don't take it so seriously. Don't get all grumpy. Grumpy Trev doesn't really get grumpy, but don't get all uptight if things aren't going your way. Just remember you're out with friends, you're having a good time, flying some cool drones around that no one in the history of the human race has been able to do cool stuff like this. We're really doing some really fun, really cool stuff, so just keep it real and enjoy it. Always something. I think I've answered one of these questions before from you maybe. What are the 3 things you look for when you're finding products to review, share on your channel? What about absolute deal breakers with a product? You know what? Always, this question right here is kind of interesting because I get so many emails, like literally thousands of dollars a month of people saying, not, you know, of thousands of dollars of product they want to get on the channel, and they're like, please review this, please review that. And some of the stuff, most of the stuff, a lot of the stuff is absolute garbage. So that's why everything I talk about, I probably talk about so positively, because I have a ton of drone requests to get stuff on this channel, and I pick the things that I'm interested in. So as far as getting stuff on this channel, it's got to be either really interesting to me, it's got to either be really new technology, or it's got to be something that, you know, that again I'm interested in, or it's got to be something that I think you guys are interested in. So it's all about that sort of interest, you know. So that's why there's a bit of a range on the channel, but most of the time, that's why the stuff is positive, because it's stuff that I'm interested in, and I think you guys will be interested as well. And I know a lot of people are like, Stuart, we get some, there's a big variety, so you know, we might have things like the Talon frame, or all the way right up the top like the Norris frame, which is like 500 bucks or something like that, to as well as some budget options out there too, because I think it's important to have some things like my $99 build, like a $99 build out there, because a lot of my viewers aren't people who can afford really, really expensive drones, and they just want to get into the hobby as cheaply as possible. And I think if for those people, I want to provide them with some accurate, useful information that's going to help them get the most bang for their buck. So yeah, usually I'm just thinking of either things that interest me or things that I think viewers will find useful, or just really cool technology as well. Absolute deal breakers would just be piles of rubbish, things that like, I don't know how many emails I've got about like Valkyra, the thing with like the plastic arms and all that. I don't know, I've lost track of the amount of times different companies have said, Stuart, can you please review this racing drone, because that, you know, I've seen enough to know that just on first glance that thing is an absolute piece of trash. Rightio, so moving on. Oh, my phone's gone funny, it's upside down, that's why. From Thomas F. UAV Futures, do you sit down when flying? What are the benefits? I stand up when flying. I never sit down when flying. Is it better to sit? I would say do whatever works for you, whatever's comfortable. The one advantage of standing up, I sit down because I can't really fly that well standing up. The one advantage of standing up is you'll never have to carry a seat around with you, and you can just fly anywhere. But also I reckon I would get tired if I was standing up for the whole day. I would actually get sick of standing up. I'd probably get a sore back or something like that. But each to their own. Hanging out with Cam. Your question is, Stu, you've flown heaps of different products. So if you had to build your all-time favourite quad, with what motors, ESCs, frames and VTX would you use? Love your stuff. You've helped me so much in this hobby. I'm still flying your upgraded $99 build and just bought a Talon as my second build. I want to fly with you one day. Keep up the awesome work, Cameron. Mate, I would love to meet up with a whole bunch of pilots, a whole bunch of you viewers, because, you know, like I kept saying, I'm just one of you guys, and I would probably be more excited to meet a fan than, say, you would be to hang out with me. I would be like rapt. If someone was like, Stu, I'd be like, yes. I'd be the one asking for the photos with you guys. Anyway, my all-time favorite drone, that's a hard one because stuff is getting better all the time. I think I just have favorites until the next best thing comes out. At the moment, I am loving the Talon. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link that up here in the description down below or something. But also the Chameleon is absolutely beautiful. I actually don't have that. That's at Trevor's house because he's doing some videos with that. But the Chameleon I absolutely love, and Trev, make sure you bring that Chameleon tomorrow, mate. Otherwise, I'll be upset. All-time favorite, I think. Yeah, just probably those ones. No, I could have a great day with any of these quads, honestly. If someone came over and they took one off the wall and it was a working one and went out, I would still have an absolute blast, because that's the best thing about this hobby. You can have such a good time with even the most budget setup. You're still going to have an awesome, awesome experience. I know that didn't really help you, but yeah, I think that's the answer that I'm feeling most confident to give. Let's move on. Bo and the Lizard. Bo and the Lizard. How do we get considered for the giveaway? Well, Bo, you're now considered for the giveaway because you asked the question and I answered it. This one's from Groove Romance. Hi Stu, what feature or mode do you think will be a life changer in the beta flight for better flying? I don't know about for better flying because that's something that the code, I don't know too much about writing code or anything like that, but one feature a lot of people are going to have to clean their ears out after hearing this, that I did muck around a little bit with race flight today. And one feature I thought, gee, that was kind of nice, was how you had to arm it twice to make it actually arm and move the motors. Because I know in the past, sometimes I've knocked my FPV transmitter or my FPV arms, sometimes I've knocked my arm switch, the quad has spun up and it sort of scared me. So if you're one of the Betaflight guys, can we put that option in as a little tick, like under the arm mode box? It requires arm to be armed twice or something like that. I think that would be really cool. Mecha Mayhem. G'day Stu, what is the most helpful thing you've done for someone in the field when they're out of the sky? I would say the most helpful thing I've done is given someone a quad to fly for the day. So like if something doesn't go well, they're out there to fly, they've got their batteries, they might have taken some time off work or whatever it is. I know it's happened a few times when look, I take a lot of drones out with me when I fly, and if someone said, well, this is what's happened, someone's been like, oh no, my quad's broken or it's not working or something, just being able to be like, here you go, you can just fly one of these. So I guess they get to fly with some of my, with some of my drones. And if something breaks, like I've got enough cameras and stuff to be like, look, you can use mine and you'll put this camera in your quad, and then they're like, oh, do you want it back? I'm like, you know what, just keep it, because for me, it's all about getting other people flying as well. I'm having a great time, and I'm having even better time when someone else is having a good time as well. So probably just, yeah, giving people stuff when they're needing it, and also letting them fly, even my good drones, if they've got nothing to fly. Kelvin Wolf, question, despite growing in popularity, FPV quads still aren't as mainstream as skateboarding or volleyball. Is volleyball I don't know. Anyway, while your channel has inspired many and has gotten many people started, what can the FPV community do to broaden our hobby further, other than YouTube, of course? I would say social media is the most powerful tool we have for any community. Just get out there, put it on social media, talk to your friends about it, post it on your Facebook groups or whatever you're into. In places where it's not just FPV related. So, on your personal Facebook pages and all those sorts of things, link my videos. But yeah, I would just say put it all over social media and talk to people, invite people out, show them in the parks. When you see people there, just say, hey, do you want to come have a look at this stuff? And really work on changing that public perception that drones aren't evil things people are using to look over the beach or anything like that, or check out their neighbors. They're just things that we want to have fun with and fly around with. Now, that was actually the last question. Alrighty. Anyway, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Definitely subscribe for more FPV related content. A big shout out to... I liked this one about my inspiration, Jason Cross. So Jason Cross, definitely check your spam box or anything like that on your YouTube account, and then you can, I'll get your contact details, I'll email, we'll figure something out anyway, but I'm going to contact you about the Nano X from Flex RC, and we'll organize to get that shipped out to you. So yeah, congratulations. And for everybody else, remember how to enter, drop those questions down below so I can answer them next time. Definitely check out all the links, everything I talked about will be down below. Subscribe for more FPV related content. I think I'm about to charge my last batteries, get ready for my big flying session tomorrow. I can't wait. Other than that, subscribe for more FPV related content, and as always, happy flying. Also too, do you want more Grumpy Trev? Because it was so much fun doing it with him. Drop some comments about Grumpy Trev as well, because I know he loves to read them, and drop some funny ones so I can give him some stickers well tomorrow when we're driving out there. Anyway, happy flying. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page, because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAV Futures family, there's things like bonus Velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.